Sega Saturn.
Hello everyone and welcome to Retro Dad and Modern Lad. In today's video, we're going to look at 10 must-try Sega Saturn game unlockables and hidden secrets. First up is Clockwork Knight 2, the US version. In Japan, Sega released a version of Clockwork Knight which featured both games on the one disc. Despite hinting the US version would also feature both games playable, there was no option to play the first game, or was there? On Christmas Day in 2023, the code to unlock the first game was finally revealed online by Bo Bales. After they had investigated the game files and the workings of the game, it's amazing to think that a cheat code for the full first game has been hidden for so long. To activate it, press up, down, left, down, right, up, LR, LR. Unfortunately, the code doesn't work for the PAL version, but for US owners, this is absolutely fantastic. I am a fan of these fun 2.5D style platformers, and once you have explored the levels and found all the hidden items and areas, you can also have lots of fun trying to speedrun the levels. In my opinion, the graphical style of these games have aged incredibly well compared to a lot of 32-bit games, and this is a gem of the Saturn library. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of this game and if you've managed to complete both Clockwork Knight games. In Nights into Dreams, you can unlock a 2-player mode by completing the game. You can battle your opponent in split screen on one map. It's a fun bonus to try, but it does make you think that it would have been really cool to have a fully fledged 2-player battle mode on multiple maps. Sonic Team could have further expanded on the 2-player game by having a split screen mode in the main game, with different challenges to complete the game and also to battle your friend, such as time attack, high score, or even having a combined score leaderboard, which would have been very cool. A 2-player mode in Nights into Dreams had a lot of potential, but even just getting to try it out is a very cool bonus for completing the game. Let me know in the comments if you've ever played Nights into Dreams on the Sega Saturn in 2-player mode. In Sega Touring Cars, you can unlock the Sega Rally cars by completing the game in both arcade mode and Saturn mode. By far the part that will take you the longest is training the AI prototype car by racing each track multiple times in the versus mode to train it. Once it is trained, you then choose the AI prototype car and watch it to see if it places in the top 3. You should now have both trophies for completing the arcade and Saturn modes and will unlock the Sega Rally cars. Now they look excellent but are some of the worst controlling cars in the game. However, with some tuning you can improve the handling. I remember being really disappointed when I first tried this game on the official UK Sega Saturn magazine demo and reading the poor reviews. However, years later I got the game as a cheap Japanese import and used the 3D controller, and it made all the difference and I really enjoyed the game. Strangely, it does appear that the Sega Rally cars and the prototype car are not available in the 2-player versus mode. If you have the official Sega Saturn steering wheel, you can also unlock the Sega Rally cars by plugging it into control port 2 and then going to the options mode, then key config and holding X, Y, Z and start on the steering wheel. The Japanese version of Fighting Vipers has an exclusive character you can unlock. To unlock them, simply go to the arcade mode, but don't press anything once the fight begins. You will then see Challenger comes and your opponent will change too. You can then battle Pepsi Man. The character will also be unlocked as a playable character by going to the far left off screen at the character select screen. If you enjoy fighting games on the Sega Saturn, also check out Fighters Mega Mix with unlockable characters such as Mr. Meat and the Daytona Car. Sega really needs to do a new Fighters Megamix game, that would be absolutely awesome. The Sega Saturn is well known for having a lot of brilliant fighting games. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite fighting game unlockable character on the Saturn. If you have a save for Quake Sega Saturn when playing Duke Nukem, you will unlock Death Tank on the main menu. Despite the simplistic graphics, this is one of the best multiplayer games on the Sega Saturn. It is the sequel to the original Death Tank game that you could unlock in Exhumed by collecting all the team dolls. However, while Death Tank Y works on all regions, the original is not in the PAL version of Exhumed. The game is similar to Worms but is played in real time and can be played with up to 7 players for all-out war. And also in between rounds you can purchase new items and weapons to beat your opponents with. This was Modern Lad's favourite game out of all the ones we played for this video, and it is really fun and highly recommended. Manx TT has one of the wildest unlockables in any Sega Saturn game. When selecting the transmission, press up, up, down, down, left, right, Z, Y. When the race starts, you will be riding and racing against sheep. The music is also different. This is such a fun cheat and I'm a big fan of this game. I remember getting it for my birthday when it come out. I only wish it had a few more tracks, as the game effectively has 1.5 tracks, as both tracks share some of the same road. The computer opponents do also cheat, and it's almost impossible to break away no matter how well you race. However, to win the last track, I find it easiest to let second place get ahead of you and smash them off the bike at high speed. One of the best features of the game is the excellent split-screen 2-player mode, and it gets very competitive. Thankfully, the sheep mode also works in 2-player mode, which is brilliant. The 2 tracks provided are also reversed and mirrored, and also set at different times of day to provide 4 tracks, but really it could have done with some Saturn exclusive new tracks. Let me know in the comments if you've tried the sheep code and if you enjoyed this game. Next up is Doom Sega Saturn, the PAL and Japanese versions, which both have link cable multiplayer, despite the PAL version box saying the game's 1 player. Now you will need 2 Sega Saturns, 2 copies of the games, 2 TVs and a Sega Saturn link cable to play the 2-player mode, but it is really fun and I would recommend you try it. At least you never shut the door on my face.
You can come here now, Dad. I don't really mind. Come outside!
No, I'm still going.
I'm not. I've got the pistol.
I just went to get it, but you'd already took it.
How am I not hitting you? Give me the ammo. Wait, I actually don't. Wait, how do you switch?
Switch between what?
Oh.
Stop cheating! I'm dead. Christmas Knight is arguably one of the best free demos ever released, and it also features one of my favourite unlockables. Sonic Into Dreams can be unlocked by opening presents when you complete the game. You need to match 2 presents to be able to unlock it. With Sonic Team not releasing any new mainline Sonic games for the Sega Saturn, this was the way many people first experienced playing Sonic in 3D. Like the full Nights Into Dreams game, playing the demo with the Sega Saturn internal clock date set to different times of the year made changes to the game. If you set the clock date to the Christmas period, you get Christmas Nights. I got my Christmas Nights demo free with the excellent official Sega Saturn magazine UK, and every Christmas since I've gone back to play the game. If you want to see more on Sonic for the Sega Saturn, check out my video titled Sonic on the Sega Saturn, Released, Unreleased, Homebrew and Cameos. The boss battle is also customised, so Sonic faces off against Robotnik. Let me know in the comments your memories of this brilliant Saturn demo. Next up is Daytona USA and one of Sega's most famous unlockables. On the game select screen, press and hold up left on the D-pad and A, B, X, Z and start. You will then be able to race as the Daytona horse. If you choose automatic transmission, you get the brown horse, and selecting manual transmission gets you the grey horse. While early arcade ports to the Sega Saturn may not have had the graphical polish of games such as Ridge Racer and Toshinden on the PlayStation, in terms of gameplay, Daytona and Virtua Fighter are the better games in my opinion, and maintain the arcade magic. The horse can also be unlocked in the Daytona CCE and CE updated versions of the game. On the mode select screen, enter the 3 codes below to unlock the 5-star car and both horses. In terms of frame rate, graphics, game modes and polish, these games are improved over the original Daytona USA release on the Saturn. However, they don't quite seem to match the original feel of the arcade game like the original Saturn release. The Japanese CE version is cheap to buy and has more options and a link cable mode, making it the preferred version I like to play. The horses can be played in the 2-player mode, which is brilliant. The arcade gameplay make this a very fun 2-player game and one we always come back to and enjoy playing. Let me know in the comments your memories of this game and which version you prefer. Sonic Team's Burning Rangers was released as a 1-player game for the Saturn, but early magazine and video previews showed a 2-player mode. In January 2023, a prototype was released that allowed an early version of the 2-player battle mode to be played. You can download this from Hidden Palace and play it on real Sega Saturn hardware using a pseudo Saturn, mod chip or ODE. Similar to Nights into Dreams, this could have been a fun addition to the game. Key to this would have been getting the camera angles right. If they could have done this, then it may have been possible to do a 4-player mode with all players on screen at the same time, since the areas are small and basic. Also, drop-in items could have been added, similar to Power Stone style gameplay. The game was also originally going to feature a 2-player co-op mode as well, and thanks to Bo Bales, a mod can be downloaded which restores this feature. This was possible as most of the code for the 2-player co-op mode remains on the final version disc. We had a lot of fun with this and it's a shame that it got dropped from the game. It plays similar to Sonic and Tails multiplayer with the camera following player 1. And if player 2 goes out of the screen or is lost, they can press the A button to teleport next to player 1. While player 2 can help with putting out fires and defeating enemies, they cannot collect crystals or open doors. We quickly came up with a system of Modern Lad as player 2 leading the way by staying just in front of me. This worked really well to keep both of us on screen at the same time. This type of 2-player mode is particularly great for adults playing with young children, but even as 2 experienced gamers, it was a lot of fun fighting fires, rescuing hostages and defeating enemies as a team. Let me know in the comments if you've played the 2-player mode and if you're a fan of this fun game.
Until we meet again, my friends!
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're very close to hitting 2,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.